everybody, I'm Rachel Eckroth, here at Jam Pedals. Yeah, working with St. Vincent and band is, it almost felt like a jazz gig in a way, even though there was not really jazz on that gig. There was like a fake jazz moment, but that doesn't count. But
what is a fake jazz?
well, I was like accompanying her in like a fake, she's like being the lounge singer, and I was like,
okay. Yeah.
Whatever. I was playing weird shit behind her, but yeah. But on that gig, she gave me the freedom, even though I was like within the, the structure of the song and basically the sonic palette of her music. It was almost like I think I could do anything and it would have been fine on that gig. Like, for the most part, a lot of times, before the show, we would gather behind the stage and be like, let's mess them up, which doesn't really mean a lot except express yourself as much as you feel like. I think she's all for experimentation and also like surprises on stage. But overall, like I felt like within those songs I could kind of comp in my own way. I could have made up parts or whatever whenever that fit the music, and she would be cool with it. I will say, like, the things that I go back and listen to are like Gil Evans arrangements with like Miles Davis. A lot of that stuff, kind of larger ensembles that include, not the typical jazz band stuff, but also he had like this really fluffy sound, I think, in a lot of his music that I loved. I don't know if fluffy is the right word, but to me, that's how I feel. And then Carla Bley. Do you know Carla Bley? Carla Bley, she's got humor in her music, and it, I think, kind of stems from Duke Ellington and just kind of like this kind of bold way of arranging. And then stuff like Schoenberg string quartets and things, just, I don't know, I go back to the stuff I listened to when I started. I love this Joe Henderson record called Multiple. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just groovy. It's got good sounds. Things like that. I did go to the Fazioli store in New York to do a showcase that Rachel Z put on. Do you know Rachel Z? She's a keyboard player. She's married to Omar Hakim. She played with Wayne Shorter. She played with Peter Gabriel and a bunch of other, and they have their group together. So they invited me to do a showcase there, and the Faziolis were amazing. And I was like, this is the best I've ever played because of the piano. When you have a good instrument, your technique all of a sudden gets worlds better because you don't have to fight anything. So I enjoy my Prophet 6. I find new things in that all the time, so that's a pretty good contender. And then electric piano. So my dad was a keyboard player, and the first thing that I played on was a CP70, the Yamaha CP70. That was like what I learned piano on before we got a piano. So I think electric piano is like in my bones, you know. And then of course my Vintage Vibe. So Vintage Vibe is a company in New Jersey that hit me up to play their instrument, and they put my name on it, and it's the Rachel Eckroth signature series Vintage Vibe, which is like 64 keys, I think. But yeah, it's built like a Rhodes, but it has like a little bit more of a modern sound to it, and also the ability, it has this variable voice control on it, which mics it differently as you slide it, so you don't have to like revoice it ever. You can just slide it, so you can get a lot of different sounds out of it. And it's just like a really even keyboard, and I've had it for almost 2 years, and it's still in great condition after moving it around a lot and stuff. So that's a really nice clean sound. I guess it's been different every time I've done an album, and I've mostly worked with like producers that are sort of like a little bit hands off, except for maybe Tim LaFave. You know, he was very much about the sounds that we were creating, and the grooves and stuff. But I worked with David Garza on a songwriter kind of album that I was singing, and that was a very loose project. And so, but if you know him and you know his music, that's how he operates. It's just loose, like you let it happen, it comes together, and it's super fun. So for that one, I think the idea behind it was just called Rachel Eckroth. It's an EP. I think the idea behind that was just no click, natural, real music, whatever sounds we could make there in the studio, not a lot of afterthought after the studio. But with Tim, it was a lot of post-production, mixing, stuff like that. And then for the solo piano, that was all me. I mean